Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and we're going to have a little discussion. Nothing major, well, depending on who you ask. Has anybody else noticed that there are so many hair products on the market today that have no dimethicone in it, no silicone in it, no parabens in it? And then you use these products figuring that these companies that say, oh, it's good for coily hair or it's good for um, kinky coily hair, it's good for straight hair, or I didn't know I had curls, or uh, there's just so many products between shampoo, conditioner, hair care, dyes, and you just don't know where to begin. And then you decide you're going to begin with the whatever your hairstylist says. And then it becomes too expensive. So you look for a product that is just like the original product in a dupe, just so that you can have the beautiful hair that you had when you were younger. And those who are younger who sit there and want the hair that's shiny and slippery and beautiful, and it's just, different colors and stuff like that. So I have not teamed up with anybody to do any of this because I started off with doing all kinds of hair reviews for all kinds of companies. And you've seen products come in, products go out. And over the years, I've noticed something. And I couldn't figure out exactly what was going on with my hair and found out two things. As a strawberry blonde, which is my original hair color from birth, I started taking medication for acid reflux, Flexeril for pain, prescription medications that are not told to you that they can actually change not only the structure of your hair, but the color of your hair. And I was wondering why, when I was standing out in the sun, that it was actually going from strawberry blonde to dark red. I couldn't understand it. Sun's supposed to make stuff lighter, not darker. Come to find out, the medication that I was using was wrong. It was making my hair a totally different color. It was increasing the melanin in my hair. So my beautiful strawberry blonde is now a dark red. And I got upset with it. And I decided that I was going to dye it numerous colors. I went from strawberry blonde to the dark red, and then I wanted my strawberry blonde back. So I went back to my strawberry blonde. Lots of bleach, lots of coloring. And then I went to a pinup red. And then I went to silver. And then I went to a silver blue and then a silver purple and then back to red and then back to my natural strawberry blonde. And then my hair, as much as I took care of it, cutting it, doing all that stuff, I started to notice my curls were gone. I didn't use anything to make my hair straight. What I was doing was damaging my hair by using henna, which is not a semi-permanent or a demi-permanent. It is permanent. Had to find that out the hard way. Yeah, might not have chemicals in it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't dye your cortex of your hair, the very center. It changes it. So to remove that took a ton of time and a ton of bleach, and I went to gray. I was in Seattle, adored it. And then, of course, I got bored and changed it to dark red, mahogany. And then I decided, well, you know what? I'm getting older. I'll go back to gray. As you can see, silver gray. Yeah, it you can see a curl peeking through. But yes, I am a curly girl. Always have been. It's funny how your hair can go from being super healthy to absolutely not. The worst part about it, I think it was when my hair was thin. And that's been most of my life from childhood abuse to um, being stressed by being taken advantage of um, and stuff like that. And then I went into menopause. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on. I was 30, which you can be 25 and start menopause. I started late, apparently. I'm a late bloomer. But I went from perimenopause all the way into menopause. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm using the good shampoos. I'm using the good conditioners. I'm using a leave-in. Why is my hair still thin? Well, with a little help from the person that I've left the link in the bio of this video, I should say in the description, not bio, you can get help with it too. Not from the outside, because I could put on a ton of makeup. You guys have seen me with makeup. You guys have seen me without makeup. That's just basically putting a Band-Aid on it. With a little help from the person that I have in the description, I went from really thin hair to really thick hair. You can't see through it anymore. And that's after her beating it into my head that getting the ends cut is a good thing. Going to a salon to see if I could fix my curl pattern is a good thing. And it's part of self care. I never thought of my hair as self care. I thought of, makeup and skincare and stuff like that. And then I realized that all the stuff that I was doing, like bleach baths, curling my hair, coloring it, I was causing damage not just to the cortex of my hair, but I was also continuing the walk from having thin hair to continue to have thin hair. And then I looked in the store and I realized that something has changed. It's not just me physically, internally, but something externally that I was using was actually causing more damage. So I sat here for a while and I was thinking, and I realized that my shampoo that I was using that wasn't professional, because I didn't get it from Sally's or any professional place or the ones that are at Walmart. And being a colorist to where I can color my hair any single color I want, I couldn't figure it out. So I looked on the back of the labels and I started seeing no parabens, no silicones, no nothing, blah, 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 blah. Huge list of stuff. And I went, well, when in doubt, go back to the beginning. I started taking the vitamins I was supposed to. I started relieving stress. And then I started to use the professional brands of shampoo that are specifically for my hair. Not my hair type, my hair. What is my hair doing? Well, it's frizzing out. As you can see, it didn't have the shine to it. It was just flat, lazy hair. And why? Because it didn't have what it needed to survive. And my body was telling me, hey, dark sky, look, you need to go back to the beginning. to where you were taught with Redken and start using what you know from school and Redken when I went to school with them and what I've always used, and stop changing your routine. Go back to the beginning where my hair was absolutely beautiful. It shines and everything. So I decided to check out a video with Sindal and said, she's right. I need to go back to the beginning. So I went out and I looked for a couple of shampoos that I could use, one over the counter and one that's high end. So I got the Nexus shampoo and conditioner, and then I got the Garnier Fructus, which is the only one. They have like 4 or 5 of them out, but there's one that actually has silicones and parabens in it. I'm like, okay, we'll start at the beginning. Silicones and parabens are not bad for your hair. And then I noticed something. No dry ends. My hair's floofy. I think it needs a trim again. But it's growing. And as you can see, it's rather shiny. And I stripped all color from my hair. I've been hiding 2 skunk lines, one here, one on the opposite side, and the sprinkle of silver that I've always had in my hair. Even when I was strawberry blonde, I had these beautiful, like tinsel-like strands. I'm like, why am I hiding them? Because somebody said that silver wasn't the thing anymore. I took the stress off my hair instead of adding the stress to my hair. I took all of the coloring out that I put in, and I sat here and looked at my hair and went, it seems to me that I had so much coloring on my hair that, and all of the other products that I was using, it was just strangling my scalp. I'm like, but I really don't put in my hair anything more than shampoo that's washed out, conditioner that's washed out, and a leave-in. That's it. I use a scalp brush to clean my scalp, and then I use rose water in between, well, rose hydrosol in between to clean my scalp. I'm like, huh, it's got to be the shampoo. It was. It was the conditioner and the leave-in. They had no parabens in it, no silicones, no nothing. I know some of you think that, those are bad, but that's what I was using in the beginning. And even though my hair was extremely thin from my poor diet because of abuse, my hair was at least shiny and healthy, even if it was sparse. Well, I started to up my game. Started to take the vitamins that I needed, got on hormone therapy, and started using the right shampoo, conditioner, and leave-in. And yeah, the light in here is just bouncing off of my hair. And as you can see, I mean, there is white in there. There's silver throughout my hair. And I know it looks yellow in some places, but yeah, between smoking and secondhand smoke, it's going to yellow. And what can I do? Well, I could purple shampoo it or blue it and it'll turn, but I've decided to leave it alone for a while. Just do shampoo, conditioner, and my leave-in and leave it alone. Once I do my shampoo, and I'm going to give you the steps right now. So I shampoo my hair and then I have a massaging brush, just like I used in school, just like all of your famous cosmetologists use when they wash your hair and scrub your scalp. I use that. After doing sections for a couple of minutes, each one, not hard. We're not rubbing the skin off there. or getting rid of the dead skin and stuff like that, and the oil so it doesn't clog my pores. Then I use a conditioner. I don't put it near the scalp. My scalp has its own conditioner. That's sebum. It brings the oil. I need it from the mid down. And that's what I do. And I leave that sit in as long as it says. 3 to 5 minutes is perfectly fine. I'm taking a bath. It could stay in there. Wash the rest of your body, leave it in, and then rinse it out. And then once I'm done rinsing it fully out of my hair, I add in my leave-in conditioner. And then I spray that all around my head, and I get my blow dryer and I blow dry my hair. Now, so because of curly hair, okay, it's gorgeous the first day. I understand why everybody wants to put so much oil in their hair and everything else because they want that wet look. They want their curls to pop. They want, it to look like it's curly the next day. That doesn't always happen, as you can see. It just, and that's it. And Sin just put out a video as to why this may happen. If you're doing everything right and you're not adding all the oils and butters and everything else, please keep those away from your scalp, by the way. It could be environmental. Where I live is not as much rain as when I was in Seattle. So Seattle, my hair it started off amazing. And then when it went to no shine, I don't care about slip, honestly. In my hair, it was just so dry. And then I went back to the science of it to where your skin, if you're in a climate that's always raining, your skin will actually be very dry. I'm like, it's just the opposite because when you're in a dry climate, your skin's oily. And humidity plays a huge, huge part in your hair as it does your skin. So I'm not giving you advice on your hair, except for your body and your hair are a well oiled machine. And if you don't give it the right things, you will end up with a result that you're not expecting. Just like if you put two different box ties together and you don't know what they are, you fry your hair turns a funky green or something like that. And you're like, what the hell? I suggest if you're on your hair journey and you've hit a snag to where your hair starts it starts puffing like this, your ring curls aren't there, uh, your hair isn't thick, and you can't figure it out. Personally, I'd go check over at Sindal, watch her videos. She has this 7-day growth challenge. I took it. I have notes upon notes upon notes of the stuff that I myself needed to know. The extra stuff that I don't get taught in cosmetology because there's an extra science out there. Another thing is she's going to tell you if you don't take care of the inside, the outside's not going to show it either. So I could do everything right with shampoos, conditioners, leave-ins, blow drying my hair and be like, I don't see nothing. Sometimes it's not just the environment, it's inside you. And she helps with that as well. So I'd suggest, because I'm not going to give you any advice, I'm going to send you over to Sindal with the link in the description. And watch what she says. She's got a ton of videos on hair care, the best hair care, and it's not as expensive as you may think, but going to tell you there's going to be some of those things that are in there that are going to surprise you that you were doing that will mess up your hair. So, with that said, this year I'm going on 49, and all I got is the, which apparently I'm packing for a vacation that I didn't know about under the eyes, but we don't see wrinkles. We just see my under bags here that they're apparently packing for a vacation that I didn't even know I was going on. Apparently, they're going on it, and shiny hair, not dry and overprocessed. Guess Sin's doing something right if my hair has gone from to, and no, I don't always put it up either. So, but yeah, it's, can't show you guys. I'm trying to, but ooh, goodness. I mean, it's still frizzy and curly, but that's the length out of all the damage that's gone. Anyway, I will let you guys go so you can go check out Sindal. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Be good to each other, huh? And good to yourself, because you deserve it.